This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is Tuesday, February 12th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so let's take a look first is EA. So coming over to EA yesterday, we were talking about if we were, we're taking actual position, if, basically what was going on, and we knew how much selling was coming into that 100 level. So with all that selling in at that 100 level, it just, as we talked about, it never really pulled up as much as we would have liked to overall. And when I say that, basically what it means is that it did pull up $1.50, but remember the range that we see. Yesterday it moved $10.22. So when we see 75 get hit with that much selling, we have to assume that the stock needs to go up more before we would end up seeing it really be able to break underneath there. And that's exactly what happened overnight. I don't know what the reason for it is or whatever, but following the story perfectly. So then coming up to this 105 level this morning, 104.50, some beautiful buying that came in. You can see we ended up kind of pulling back from there a little bit from, that was way earlier this morning. And then coming up to that 105, you do have a little bit of new buying that came back in there. There's a little bit of selling, so it's just a very mixed level at this moment. And you can see that within the way it's trading, just very consolidated looking. Really hasn't been able to break out yet, but still hot stock, trading 448,000 shares. So really what we want to do is we want, overall, the buying that we have, that 104.50, we definitely need to be pulled up more than basically 50 cents. That's just not going to happen. But overall, as we're moving up above that 105, we really want to see something new come out there and a new level come that's not as mixed as what we're seeing at that 105. Next thing looking at is SQ. So SQ, as we talked about yesterday, we hit 75 a bunch of times on that bid side. We ended up going down, but we knew we needed a pullback. When you guys ask, should there have been a pullback? There's always, the rules are the rules. Every single time that we have a stock that moves, we have to have the same expectations with them. That's what rules are, things that happen to a high probability. And we ended up getting our pullback above that 75. Now, should it go a little bit more? I think so. I mean, right now, 50 cents, I would have expected more than that. But you know what? We'll see what happens once we come into the open. There's really no prints or anything to even talk about in it. So let's go over the scanners. So this morning, I don't really have much on my list at all. And the reason being is because I just don't see anything that I really like too much. Now, obviously, besides EA. Let me just write that down. All right, so let's go over our scanners, and I'll explain to you guys why. Yeah, I saw it was what, like 4 or 5 prints that came in right before we started, but it also had ask prints. No, it was before, yeah, 4 or 5, but it had ask prints after. We'll get into that in a second. All right, so taking a look at our scanners. First thing that we have is CASM, which is not enough volume. So ELLI, it made a beautiful move up towards that top, but now it looks like a buyout. There's just absolutely nothing going on in it. There's just nothing for us to look at. So then we come over. Whoops, did we freeze? Okay. Then you can see just not doing anything at all. Now we have Cody, COTY, 5.9 million. It's the same exact type of deal. Beautiful move coming into this morning, but it's just sitting here stuck in consolidation. So it almost looks like, they're following each other to a certain extent. Let's see. Coming over, YRIV, 159,000. Absolute garbage. Nothing going on there. CHGG, 580, but that's just because of some bigger prints that were out there. You can look. I mean, it's just there's nothing of real interest that I'm seeing. BKTX, 187,000 shares. Another one where I just don't really. Moves a little in the aftermarket, but there's just nothing going on there. No show of hands, no variables. There's just nothing. TRVN. 240. It's just looks like nothing new has popped on here. I was hoping we would, but you guys can see everything that we're going through on the gainers list on the gainer scanner is just garbage. There's just no real trading that I'm seeing going on in anything on there. And then moving over to the loser side, the list is a little bit thinner, and it's got basically just as a little bit more, but not much. So VRNS, this is definitely something we are going to be paying attention to. 145,000 shares, nothing too special, but coming down over towards that 50 level, and then also that 49. Now it didn't touch 50. We didn't actually get those prints that came in. Going back, you can see higher, but that's irrelevant. Coming in this morning, nice little burst right here, right around that 49. So is that really enough to give us that great of a show of hand? No, not really, but it's really one of the better things that we do see out there, even though it's not really great either. Okay, we really would have liked to see something come in at that 50 level to give us exactly what's going to happen. DWT's an ETF, ACB, 844,000 shares, but I would probably take a look at one of the other pot stocks. ACB is just not really not really a huge mover. So APHA 194,000, another one, just nothing going on. SOXS, absolutely no trading. And you can see, I mean, it's just, not much I can do. There's just not really anything out there. So Cron is same type of deal. CGC, same deal. We've been watching. They're almost becoming kind of everyday stocks. But yeah, Cron definitely had some new selling that came in at that 19. It's a little mixed, but it's certainly something to look about. A little bit of a pop up before coming back down. How low did I take CGC? I'm not sure what that means. What do you mean by that? So selling at 47 and now at 42. So what I mean, overall, what I'm going to be looking for is to take it someplace above 42. I'm not sure what you mean, but I mean, 47 was the real. No, I'm not. I'm not still in it. Oh, I see what you mean there. No. I'm not still in CGC. All right, guys. Anything else out there that I missed? This is a real boring meeting. I do understand that, but unfortunately, there's just not really much for us to talk about out there. Yep, that's about it. So, just patience. We're going to have to wait. Once the market opens, we'll get some nice high probability trades that come back in. But as of right this second, it's going to take a lot of work scanning this morning, especially as the market's coming closer to an open because of the fact anything that new that pops up, we got to make sure that we're on top of it. You want me to tell you how great the weather in Miami? All right, guys. So I will talk to everyone in the chat. Remember, Traders Exchange at 12:30, and happy trading.